So here's the, I just call it $600 sauna. I used reclaimed lumber. Got my little metal pan for the water just hanging on the side here for right now. Got this control hidden back here because it's really supposed to be indoors. So this is an outdoor sauna. I had to build a little thing to cover the wires and the control box, keep most of the moisture out of it. Up here at the top I've got a vent right here that I can open up, and it just like that on the inside I can adjust ventilation. I've got one of those on each side. This was an old door that Lacey had as a headboard at one time. Repurposed that. The flooring was repurposed decking that I took from around the old above ground pool. A few leftover boards from this. All these boards on the exterior and on the interior, there's another vent right there. All of these boards were old fence pickets, reclaimed off of fence panels. Did the inside the same way. And those gaps in the boards, I'm not worried about those. There's wall is well insulated and there's heat barrier. That's what's shining back there. There's the bench. I've got some infrared lighting in here also, and there's a couple of ladles. There's the bench. A little something to prop my feet on. There's the heater. The heater was only $1.99 and the rocks were like $39. Went ahead and put a couple of plugs in here. Bench on the other side. Kind of thought this might be a four-man sauna, but it's just too small. It's plenty of room for two people. I went and got some cedar just to put up, just so I'd have the smell of cedar in here. That's the sensor that regulates the temperature. I guess the optimum temperature is 170. And there's the thermometer. The thermometers were kind of expensive, and I found this cheap oven thermometer, which it only starts out at 100, but nothing matters below 100 anyway. So I went ahead and got it because, you know, like I said, 150 to 170 degrees is pretty darn good. It's probably 30 degrees out here right now. It'll take a good hour and 15 minutes to heat those stones up from 30 degrees up to, you know, boiling, because they actually get, you know, more than 212 degrees because the water just steams right off of them whenever you pour it on and evaporates it. So those stones get really hot. Did a kind of a coat rack type thing here for a robe or a towel. Did the same thing here. We've got the bucket hanging on that now. The inside, I don't know how good you can see it, but I put another one here and here, that way you can hang whatever. The bench that I'm sitting on now is 24 inches, which is the height of the benches in the house. A little tall, so I built that little footstool. On this side, it's 18 inches. It's a little better. And what we do is just slide this little footstool over and kind of share it in the middle. But here's the other vent. And you can just regulate that a little bit. Slide it up and down. Same thing. I wasn't real sure on the ventilation, what it needed. And I still haven't figured out, you know, any kind of optimum, the way it should open and whatnot. The door, you know, is homemade. It's not a homemade door, but homemade door jamb. So, and I put a door gasket around it. It doesn't seal off perfect, but I figure it needs a little bit of intake area, you might say. But there's the sauna. I'll shut the door. This door had been stored and was kind of warped. So I did that, just spin that around there to kind of, so hopefully it'll get the warp out of it over time. But there's the Metal, it's a metal roof. There's the sauna. I've got about 550, 600 tied up in it total, and really like it.